Xander Zayas or Sebastian the Towering Inferno Fendor, my people? What's going on, my MMA and boxing addicts, man? Hey, you guys, we're coming off a fantastic weekend of boxing, and we got ourselves a new WBO junior middleweight champion of the world, my people, and that is none other than the 22-year-old Xander Zayas, hailing from Puerto Rico, my friends. You guys, the hot topic right now, as you guys seen right after the fight, he doesn't call out Boots Ennis Jr. As I'll tell you guys right now, man, Boots Ennis Jr., even if it's his first 154-pound fight against a guy like Xander Zayas, he goes in there and beats him, you guys. I think Boots Ennis is technically better everywhere than a young kid like Xander Zayas. Now, I think it is because he's young. Give him a couple more years, and Xander Zayas is going to be an absolute phenom, you guys. But I don't think he called out Vergil Ortiz because I don't think he wants to fight Vergil Ortiz either. You know, Vergil Ortiz is looking for a fight. He calls out Bakram and he calls out Sebastian Fundora, the Towering Inferno. Now, you guys, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I don't think he wants to fight Bakram. I think he'll take it, but I think Bakram is one of those fights that is absolutely dangerous. Now, I could see him fighting Sebastian Fundora, but if he fights Sebastian Fundora, it'll be the toughest goddamn task that anybody has got to go through, my friends. You're talking about a 6'6", 7-foot wingspan of a fighter in a guy like Sebastian Fundora. Now, guys, Xander Zayas, he looked absolutely skilled in his last two fights. Don't get me wrong. Against George Garcia, he went in there, bro, and absolutely outskilled them, outboxed them, did every single thing better. Garcia didn't even look like he's supposed to be inside the ring with a guy like Xander Zayas. Now, the only rounds that I would say Garcia had some success was round 8 and round 9. But still, that was very little success, my guys. Xander Zayas put on a super great display of boxing. Fighting from the inside, fighting from the outside, always ducking under all the punches, ducking under, always getting out of range, never letting Garcia get into the pocket and do what he wants to do, my friends, and work on him. Against that fight with Fulmer, the same exact thing. Great boxing. Now, in that fight, he did get hurt that one time. Don't get me wrong.
Career. Closing in on big goals. He got that. You never know what's going to happen.
But still, he ended up going in there and finishing the fight in round 9, my people, and got the goddamn finish.
He went downstairs there. Swept across that body with the left hand, and now Zaas is looking to close the show. Another body shot comes in. That is it. TKO victory.
Right? Maybe it was early. Who knows? But still, Xander Zayas is proving still that he's a skillful fighter. But never has he faced anybody as tall or as the same arm length as a guy like Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian Fundora, 6'5", 5'6", basically. I went back and looked at some of Xander Zayas' last fights and some of the tallest opponents he's ever faced. 6'1". He fought against what's his name? Leighton, who was 6'2". And look what Xander Zayas did to him in round 1.
Look here early in round number 1, and there's that left hook. Leighton's in the corner, he's pinned, and Zaas is going to work. And you hear the crowd. He said, "I'm so happy because last time I had a crowd, it was in Puerto Rico, and this is just like Puerto Rico. Here they go."
Now, I don't know, because Xander Zayas is 5'10", 5'11", my friends. And when you see Leighton, he looked like he was the goddamn same height as Xander Zayas, right? When you see Sebastian Fundora get up in there against guys that are like, what, Tim Zhu, who's really short, Shadal Booker, these guys are barely reaching 5'10". Even Erickson Luben, my friends, he looks like a goddamn monster next to these guys, right? Not only do you have to fight a skillful fighter in Sebastian Fundora, Xander Zayas is super skillful, don't get me wrong. He does probably possess the skills to be able to fight from the outside against a guy like Sebastian Fundora. But we've seen Sebastian Fundora fight all different types of styles. Against Shadal Booker, he was putting the pressure.
The first time was a bad loss, and it's over. Sebastian Fundora takes care.
Flicking that jab out there every goddamn second. In his last fight with Tim Zhu, relentless pressure, throwing a ridiculous amount of punches every single round, dude. Just non-stop punches, non-stop jabbing. Super beautiful. But he has been knocked out We've seen him get hurt before in fights like Erickson Luben, Brian Mendoza when he got slept.
Once he's inside, he doesn't let go of his hands. Now he's trying to
in that fight with Erickson Luben, he drops him in the second round.
Left hook landed for Luben. Oh my goodness, down goes Luben. Fundora.
It was an absolutely ridiculous fight. Both fighters putting it on the line. But then later on in the 7th round, Erickson Luben hurts your boy Sebastian Fundora.
Here by Fundora. And now Luben stunts Fundora. My goodness, Fundora's in trouble. Luben letting him go. Fundora in major trouble. He is down. Fundora's.
So seeing this, you can see that Sebastian Fundora is one of those guys that can get clipped. Even when he fought against Tim Tszyu, the first fight was a goddamn war, my people. I'm talking about a goddamn war. You had, and one thing that I want to point out is because in that Tim Tszyu fight, you see that gash in his forehead. You see all the cuts in every single fighter. You see when he fought against Erickson Luben, they had to stop that fight in round 9. His freaking coach was like, hey, he's done. Because look at his face. Anytime that Sebastian Fundora gets into a fight with somebody, they look at their faces. It's like they hit a goddamn car crash, my friends. When he fought against Tim Tszyu, one thing that I realized was, dude, not only are you fighting the skills of Sebastian Fundora, but you're also fighting the elbows, the shoulders. And it's not like he's doing it on purpose, but because he's so goddamn tall, your goddamn head is about the same freaking height as his shoulders. So as you guys are tying up and getting in there, he's hitting you with his shoulders and it's cutting you even more. His elbows, my people. Sebastian Fundora is like they call him the towering inferno. It's like an inferno every single time somebody goes in there and steps into the ring with him. And seeing Xander Zayas being hurt by Roy Jones Jr., Slava fighter, my friends, it seems like, dude, I think Xander Zayas can fight from the outside, can use his skills, can duck and under like he did against that 6'2" guy, right? DeMarcus, he drops him, he knocks him out in the round 1 with beautiful head movement, boom, boom, coming around with hooks. That's what he's got to do. Tim Tszyu tried to do that. But in those Tim Tszyu fights, we've seen that not only Sebastian Fundora comes in the pocket and fights with relentless, nonstop pressure, he can also fight from the outside and use his height and use his distance. That's why I say he fights from every single different type of style, because he's fought all these guys already and he's had to fight in the pocket and chase dudes who are trying to box around him. Or he's fighting in the pocket with guys like Tim Tszyu who are standing there trading shots with him, and he's had to fight in the goddamn fire. He's been knocked out already by a guy like Brian Mendoza, my friends, and has already learned from that. If you've seen from that fight, he's been getting better every single goddamn fight. He's 27 now. If they fight right now, Xander Zayas at 22 years old, I just think he's too young. I think out of all the champions and everybody in the 154-pound division, he might be one of the weakest ones right now. I think if Boots Ennis wanted to fight him, he'd go in there and beat him. I think Virgil Ortiz would be able to beat this kid. But Sebastian Fundora and Xander Zayas would be an absolute fantastic fight. It would be Puerto Rican versus Mexican, my friend. Sebastian Fundora, you guys. What he did to Tim Tszyu in his last fight, making him quit on the stool, when it was crazy because Tim Tszyu was having his best rounds. In round 7, he was catching Fundora clean. And I was like, oh shit, it looks like it's starting to close the gap. And Sebastian Fundora was dominating in the first. He dropped him in the first goddamn round, dominating the first half of the fight. But then Tim Tszyu started picking it up. But if you look at that last round, in the last 30 seconds, Fundora hit him with about 30 headshots. And it looked like it just beat the will out of Tim Tszyu. He hurt his eye. Everything was all messed up. He quit on the stool. And once again, I realized why Sebastian Fundora is one of my most favorite fighters in boxing right now, because not only is he unique to watch at a 6'5", 154 pounds, but he fights like a goddamn animal. My friends, Xander Zayas, to unify the bout and see if Sebastian Fundora could regain his WBO 154 championship bout would be absolutely fireworks. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. The way that both fighters have been looking, I don't know if Xander Zayas will be able to handle the pressure of Sebastian Fundora. Not only are you training to fight him skillfully, Xander Zayas, not only do you got to train your skills for this fight, but you've got to train your heart. I tell people all the time, when it comes to a fight with Sebastian Fundora, not only are you fighting skills, but you're fighting a kid with a lot of heart going in there to prove something, because all his life people have been telling him that you couldn't fight here in this division. You guys, a guy who's been knocked out before, hey, trying to regain his bout. I'm telling you guys right now, set it up in New York. It'll be, have all the Puerto Rican fans there. It'll be a goddamn spectacle to watch. Whew, man, I can't wait for that fight, bro. I hope they make that next.